Hello to everybody who's planning the adventure of their lifetime. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, one phone call. No names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hi, everybody. It's Chris Gethard. If you're not into an intro, I get it. This week's is rather short. You're going to want to skip about 5 minutes, and you'll be right there at the call. Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here, welcoming you to another episode of Beautiful Anonymous, the show where we do anonymous phone calls that give you a glimpse into humanity, one conversation at a time. I feel really lucky to be here hosting the show. I feel really lucky that you're listening. Not too many updates to let you know about, and I think you can hear it in my voice. The flu has been kicking my ass for a week and change. It's actually been kicking my entire family's ass. So I'm going to keep this intro very succinct, very tight. What I will tell you is, for anybody who's asking about the current state of Beautiful Anonymous, the magazine, there's a couple things I want to tell you about it, which is, one, they are at the printer. They are being printed as we speak. There's actually 2 copies in existence, one in color, one in black and white. Andrea picked them up from the printer to make sure they look good, and Andrea said they do look good. I'm really excited about it. Also, I'll tell you more about this when we talk more about the magazine and how we're going to distribute it. But I will say it did prove printing a magazine, it turns out, much more expensive than I anticipated. The costs for the magazine project are beyond the pale, beyond reason. After shipping, I think it's going to be about a $10,000 endeavor. I did not misspeak. For anybody who just went, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, to make and distribute this magazine, it will have cost about $10,000, which is not great. Which is not great as an independent artist. But then here's the thing. When our friend Alexis took on the graphic design and started sending over everything, I said, we could cut some stuff to make it smaller and cheaper, but it's beautiful and it's awesome. Sometimes as an artist, you got to take a big swing. And we all came together as a community and we made something really cool and really beautiful. And I'm excited for you to see it someday. But it is making me laugh how much of an investment it is. But of course, we're coming up with a system where the first people that get it are going to be the people who subscribe to all of our extra stuff at beautifulanonymous.com. And hopefully that means that it will pay for itself in time. Although it might not. And that's okay. That's okay. Outside of that, nothing really truly new to report. As I mentioned, the flu kicking my butt, and I'm going to keep it quick. I'm going to tell you that this episode you're about to hear, I think so many points where I think you're just going to hear a young person who has so many reasons to not have a good head on his shoulders demonstrate that he, in fact, has a great head on his shoulders and has a sense of adventure, has a sense of finding himself in ways that I think are really remarkable. I think when you hear about so much of what happened, and there's some pain in there, some guilt in there, a lot of points where you said, oh, this person's life could have gone in darker directions a number of times over, and didn't. And kudos to him, and it's really inspiring to hear. There's some times in the call where, as that is revealed, I express that, and it has an emotional effect on the caller that I was not expecting. Caller expresses when you're kind of slugging it out on your own in the world, hearing that positivity and support goes a long way. And I'm not forcing it, but you'll hear me say it in the call that if ever a caller has needed mom/auntie energy, it is this caller. And if ever there has been a community more primed and ready to give off a very healthy mom/auntie energy, it is this community. So Do your best. Spread that love. Enjoy this call. And as stated during the call as well, a number of the callers who have been calling lately from the younger generation have been stepping up to the plate, giving me hope. I think opening the eyes of a lot of our callers who are middle-aged or older going, man, young people out here right now are starting to really think and philosophize and find their place in the world in a way that's cool and inspiring. This call extends that, furthers that. I think you're going to really like it.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello?
Hi.
How you doing, Mr. Gethard?
I'm good. I apologize. We had a bunch of technical difficulties, but now we're cooking.
Heck yeah.
How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, honestly.
Oh, that's always nice.
It's been a nice, relaxing day, honestly.
Good. Yeah, I did not have a relaxing day. My son threw up at school for the first time ever. So then I had to go pick him up, and then he came home and he was supposed to have a play date with his best buddy, and his best buddy missed him so bad and was so sad Cal didn't come over that he tried to FaceTime him to just say, "Hey, I hope you're feeling better." And Cal was like, I can't talk. And then as soon as we hung up the FaceTime with his little buddy, he threw up on the couch.
Damn. How old's your son now?
He's about to turn 6. It's crazy.
6.
Yeah.
Is that 6? That first grade, kindergarten? I'm 22, so I don't know anything about kids.
Yeah, he's in kindergarten. He's going to finish up kindergarten in a couple months.
Damn.
You're 22.
That's fantastic, man. Congratulations. Yeah,
Hey,
22.
thanks. You got your whole life ahead of you.
I hope so. Yeah. A long and hopefully busy life, right?
You are significantly closer in age to my 5-year-old son than you are to me.
It's an interesting how worlds collide like that, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you called.
Man, I'm telling you. So I discovered the podcast maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and I have been calling. I got Twitter notifications set up, so second I see the tweet, and then I have your number saved, or the number for the podcast saved, I just immediately, hey Siri, call the number, and then I've gotten patched through about 3 times, but not full all the way through. So,
I love it. I love that we get to talk. How'd you discover the show?
Oh, well, oops, hold up. Siri just heard me call again and try to do it on my iPad. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, I missed what you said at the last part there.
I was just wondering how you discovered the show.
Honestly, I don't remember. I think it was off of a TikTok, honestly.
I love that. It's working. The TikTok is working. I didn't think that was going to lead to anything. We got at least one person to listen via the TikTok. Amazing.
It's funny, too, because, when the whole TikTok ban happened, I actually deleted TikTok off my phone, so I don't have it anymore. And I can't tell you, I've been going through trying to listen to older episodes and things like that, and the TikToks have been helping me find older episodes, and I'm like, oh, this seems like it'd be a good one to listen to, but now I don't have that anymore, which is probably good for me that I don't have TikTok anymore, but,
I got to tell you, though, on my end, we started a TikTok for the show specifically in an effort to open the door to younger people to find the show. And I don't know if it's working worth a damn overall, but I'm glad you're here now. I'm very excited.
I'm happy. I can't even tell you how happy I am to be here, man.
So what would you like to talk about?
Well, honestly, so when I called in, I told Andrea, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, my mind's blanking in the nervousness, not to be.
It's all good. We'll get into a flow. We'll get into a nice flow.
Yeah, told Andrea. I mean, so I'm graduating this semester from college. It's been a very, very long process, a lot of hiccups along the way, but I'm finally graduating this semester with my bachelor's. And the plan has always been to go to medical school, and it still is eventually. But about 2 months ago, I applied for a job in Antarctica, and I got offered the position. Still have to go through all the screening processes of like background checks and everything, health checkups, all that. But I mean, it's a real possibility as long as I don't, I'm not on a federal watch list or dying of something.
What what types of jobs are in Antarctica?
Surprisingly, everything you could possibly think of. I mean, most people, when you hear Antarctica, it's like all they're doing down there is research. But I mean, there's small little villages down there. I mean, they need everything you could possibly imagine. Flight engineers, cooks, housekeeping, camp managers. The job I applied for specifically was lead dining room attendant, which is not. I haven't done anything in food service in God 6 years, but apparently it's worked out somehow.
That's amazing. So you're just going to go on a big adventure and go down to Antarctica in a service role just to go on the adventure before coming back from medical school?
Yep, that's the plan. I've kind of realized I'm like, school's been hectic, and I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how hectic, like getting through all the issues of college. But yeah, I'm kind of like, I just need a break. There's no way I can go straight into medical school or that whole process. I need to do something fun beforehand, something out of the ordinary.
Now you've indicated a couple times that college had ups and downs and seems like it stressed you out, which I mean, I remember half a lifetime ago how stressed out I was from college, but it also sounds like you're graduating on time. 22.
So I turned 23 on April 1st, actually. Good old April Fool's Day. But so I'm technically a year behind. Yeah, this is my second semester since coming back, but I had to take a year off.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, it's been, like I said, quite the process, but somehow it's all worked out for the better.
Yeah, if you don't want to talk about the process and that year, I get it. But I have to say, something fascinating about something causes a year off and also enough stress that you're like, I think I'm gonna go to Antarctica to decompress from that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's to the whole. I guess I'm more than happy to talk about it. The whole process itself. I mean, from beginning to end. Originally, I'm a COVID graduate. I finished high school in 2020, and I originally applied to the college I'm at now as a fashion major. Funny enough, and COVID hit, and I was like, I don't know shit about fashion. I don't know how to dress. Why am I doing this? And so yeah, I deferred, and I ended up going to my local community college for 2 years. 3 months before I transferred, my mom died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And it is okay. It was, as much as that sucks, obviously, my mom, the woman that cared for me and my siblings my entire life on her own, strongest woman I have ever known and will ever know. It was a wake up call for helping me find my passion in medicine. But yeah, that she passed away 3 months before I transferred to, an actual big university, moved 3 hours away, living on my own for the first time. Was at college for a year and a half, and then they completely cut my financial aid by like 80% and had to take a year off, move back home, and now I moved back and I'm finishing finally.
That's a hell of a stretch right there.
Yeah.
When I'm not trying to be glib, but I have to imagine you had your version of it, of just my mom just passed. I just got back on the horse, and now the financial aid goes away. You must have been ready to put your fist through a wall.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it was to put it lightly, it was heartbreaking. I mean, I'm a first generation independent student, at the time I was a first. Well, I've always been a first generation and then independent student once I transferred, obviously because my mom passed away. But yeah, when they cut the financial aid, I was like, this is insane. I mean, I'm extremely involved on campus. I volunteer with the school itself, do research through the school. And when it happened, I mean, I had multiple faculty members and staff, people, my bosses, they all wrote me letters saying like, hey, he's a great student. He does a lot for the university. He needs more money. And it went through and they offered me an extra $4,000 for the entire year.
Now, when you say first generation independent student, I want to make sure I know what you mean by that.
Oh, yeah. So first generation, I'm the first person in my family to graduate with a bachelor's degree. My mom does have she had an associate's. Father did not go to college. And then independent, I mean, know my father, talk to him, but he's not able to contribute anything. He does not contribute anything to my education, and mother's passed away. So everything, my entire tuition, housing, living expenses, it's all paid for by me.
Damn, man. That is the type of college experience that'll make you go, I think I'm going to go to the bottom of the world and just think about things for a couple months there.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be in Antarctica for?
I believe it's 4 months for I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The Austral, I think it's Austral summer. It's from, I said February. It's from October to February, I believe.
Okay. That's a big chunk of life right there. You're going to learn a lot about yourself down there.
That's the hope. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I got really nervous when I saw that it said there's absolutely no Wi-Fi or phone connectivity except for the people that need it.
Whoa.
But that's probably a good thing for us, right?
I mean, you're going to get to know all the people that you're there with on a real look each other in the eye and talk about stuff level. And that's good. We're losing that. That is good, but that's a very extreme way to get really in touch with that.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, the main reason this is something I've wanted to do before. I'd thought about it, early on in the college. I was like, this seems like it'd be a cool place to go. And I'm like I said, I do research here in college, and that's primarily the reason why we're even in Antarctica, is to do scientific research, and that's what I wanted to do down there. But the odds of getting into that without a PhD or a master's or something like that, it's practically negligible. I mean, you're not doing it. So the hope is to make my connections down there, talk to people, and finagle my way in somehow.
Are you the type of person that likes to go on big adventures like this, or is this out of character for you?
I like to think it is me. I mean, I've been out of the country before. I've been to Europe, a few different European countries on one big trip. But I mean, typically, I don't know, like if someone like comes up to me and they're like, hey, we're going to go do this right now. I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. Too risky, too scary, might die, not doing it. But with this, I don't know what it is. It's just, there's something about it that I just really, really want to do it.
You seem very clear-headed. It seems very much like you see the potential benefits. You see the future beyond it. It sounds like you're going down there to work hard, and if you get some soul searching out of it, that's great, but you're not putting any undue expectations on it. These are all things I'm picking up from your tone. I'm fully in support of this. I think you have to do things like this when you're young. Have to.
I hope so. Yeah, I feel like it, the times like this, like, wanting to go to medical school and stuff like this, it feels like a very small window of time where something like this will only ever be possible. And the thought of losing that possibility is more scary than the possibilities of something happening while I'm there.
Well said. Well said. I have to imagine there's still some processing of grief, and it's hard to not feel like maybe going off and being somewhere isolated where you don't know anybody else is part of that as well. But I don't want to make that assumption fully without running it past you.
You know, it was a very interesting thing. I mean, when my mom did pass, I mean, it was extremely unexpected. I mean, I guess for some context, my mom had a congenital heart condition called long QT syndrome. It's when you're looking at, like, say, an EKG, the little lines on an EKG, it's the electrical rhythm of your heart recharging. The QT interval, it's in between beats. With her, it took a little bit longer to recharge. My mom had extremely bad anxiety and was prescribed benzodiazepines, things like Xanax, Valium, and just one specific night had really bad anxiety. She came home and was like, "I'm just not feeling well." It's like, "Well, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. Good night." Went to work the next morning. I had woken up early I worked in a pharmacy at the time, and we were behind. Went in early for like a 14-hour shift, and around like 2 p.m., one of her coworkers called me and was like, "Hey, you know where your mom's at? She hasn't shown up or said anything yet." And I called her. No one answered, and I was like, "This is something." Immediately felt wrong. I was like, "This just isn't right." So I called again, still no answer, and still to this day, the biggest regret I have. My little brother was on the way home from middle school, and I was like, "Hey, when you get home, go upstairs and go check on mom." And yeah, biggest mistake I have ever made, and I will regret that to the day I die, because of course he went up there. She had passed away, and I was on the phone with him, and hearing him freak out, get scared, the worst thing I could have ever possibly imagined doing to him and to myself. And yeah, but go back to your original point. Yeah, it was a lot of grief with that immediately after, but somehow, like, within a week, I kind of rebounded. I think it was the shock of it all. I was like, everything's okay. I managed to convince myself of that. But yeah, it had quite an impact for about a year after, and every so often still there's some days where I'm like, damn, my mom's actually dead. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's a real sad. I mean, that's so brutal. It's so sad. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say something that I hope doesn't come off condescending. Because being the older brother in that situation, and it sounds like there's like a decent age gap as well between you and your little brother. That sucks so
Yeah.
bad. It's really hard. And of course, you're going to feel bad about that forever. And I get it. But you said so many times, even in just telling me, how you'll always regret it and it's the worst thing you could have done. And I get it. And those feelings are valid. I can't imagine. And there's some truth to it. But I'll also tell you, a lot of the listeners who are my age and older right now listening, I bet are having the same exact reaction I'm having, which is, you were a kid too. You were a kid too. And I don't mean that to be condescending to any of our listeners who are 20, 21 years old, which is around how old it sounds like you were when it happened. You're not a kid in the same way a middle schooler is. But
Yeah.
there is no way in which I think you get the perspective on life as you get older and you look back and go, there's no world in which someone who's 19, 20, 21 years old knows how to handle that and would ever be expected to presuppose what's happening or navigate around something that sounds like it was so horrific and random. So not in any way trying to discount your feelings. I get it. I understand. That phone call sounds like it was traumatizing for everybody, you and your brother. But also, I will promise you that someday you're going to be able to take a breath and go, man, me and my brother were both kids and we were in that together, and I could have made some different choices, but we were kids. We were kids. It's being the older sibling in that situation. Holy shit. That's just what a bad corner to be backed into, It's easy for me to
Yeah.
say, but I do have to react and just go, oh man, horrible. I get it. I get your guilt. Of course you're going to feel it. I'm not going to take it away. We don't even know each other. But also, that came out of nowhere and you're rolling with punches and you don't even know the circumstances. So it's heartbreaking to hear that guilt come through because you seem like a legit, really good guy.
I appreciate that very much. And yeah, and just making sure, it's not condescending at all. It's very nice to hear someone say that. It's not something I get the opportunity to talk about a whole lot with really anyone. So
Yeah, I bet. We're going to go ahead and pause right there because we have to pause somewhere. And pausing on the idea that this caller seems like a good guy, pretty solid place to pause. We'll be right back. I am so excited to tell you about Lumen. Lumen is incredible, and it makes keeping track of your health fascinating and fun. Did you know that when your metabolism is working properly, you'll feel the benefits in literally every aspect of your life? There's a valuable tool out there. It gives you insights to create a healthy metabolism for the body. It is called Lumen. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs. It gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and even stress management. All of those things tie together via your metabolism. Keep an eye on it and make your health more interesting and fun. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. Then Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements. You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals so you know exactly what's going on in your body in real time. And Lumen will give you tips to keep you on top of your health game. I have to tell you, I am not the best about paying attention to health. I am somebody who will go on little streaks and then I'll stop focusing on it, stop caring as much as I should. And one thing that helps me is things that in a simple way break it down to be more understandable and to make it more fun. And Lumen is doing that. Your metabolism is your body's engine. That's how your body turns the food you eat into fuel that keeps you going. And because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic health translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, better sleep, all sorts of things that add up to much better overall health. Lumen gives you recommendations to improve your metabolic health. It can also track your cycle as well as the onset of menopause and adjust your recommendations to keep your metabolism healthy through hormonal shifts so you can keep up your energy and stave off cravings. Now, I'm 44 years old now. I can tell you, I remember when I realized, my metabolism has shifted. My body is not running the same way it used to. And if I had Lumen back then, I would have been able to stay on top of it more and I had to claw my way back. Lumen is a really, really forward-thinking, very cool way to stay on top of stuff. Take the next step to improving your health. Go to lumen.me/beautiful. You'll get 20% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/beautiful for 20% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. I love IQ Bar products. I love the bars themselves. I love the hydration mix. I've been drinking the hydration mix because I've been dealing with the flu, and everybody knows you need to stay hydrated. And one of the number one ways I know to make sure I'm on top of that is the IQ hydration products. And of course, does not need to be said, my wife is perhaps the world's biggest fan of IQ Joe, which she adorably refers to as coffee sticks, and has come on the show recently and ranted about her love of IQ Joe. Point being, every product IQ Bar is putting out there is quality, it is thoughtful, it is great. Start your morning with IQ Joe. A jitter-free coffee, has natural caffeine, boosts focus and mood with magnesium and lion's mane blend. I grab IQ bars all the time. I keep them in my bag when I travel. An incredible on-the-go snack, satisfies hunger with no sugar crash, easy to just throw in the front of your backpack. You don't have to think about them again, and you're never going to get stuck without something that's quality when you are on the go. After a workout, IQ Mix, that's an incredible hydration product. You'll get 3 times as many electrolytes as sports drinks. Plus, it's great for pre-workout, morning hydration. For the people out there who drink, a great hangover cure. IQ Mix is a quality product. Make this year's resolution stick with the help of IQ Bar. Prioritize health and wellness with snacks and drinks that deliver on taste and nutrition. Lean in to your health and wellness this year with delicious IQ Bar products, carefully crafted for superior brain and body performance. Start the new year off right with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all 3, and right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners an exclusive deal, 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. You're going to want to get that ultimate sampler pack. It's a great way to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 7 IQ bars, 4 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners. So snack smarter with IQ Bar. There's more fiber, less sugar and carbs than the alternatives. 9 satisfying flavors on the IQ Bars. The IQ Mix is a zero-sugar drink mix. It hydrates with electrolytes, improves mood with magnesium, boosts clarity with lion's mane adaptogen. There's 7 flavors there. IQ Joe is a jitter-free instant coffee packed with 200 milligrams of natural caffeine and brain and productivity-boosting ingredients like magnesium and lion's mane mushroom adaptogen. 4 flavors there. My wife is completely obsessed with them. The IQ Joe coffee sticks are no joke. IQ Bar makes the #1 brain and body nutrition bar, hydration mix, and instant coffees in the U.S. Over 15,000 5-star reviews and counting. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text BEAUTIFUL to 64,000. Text BEAUTIFUL to 64000. That's BEAUTIFUL to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Thanks to all of our advertisers. Now let's get back to the phone call.
It's very nice to hear someone say that. It's not something I get the opportunity to talk about a whole lot with really anyone. So,
Yeah, I bet. When you take the year off of college, you go, I believe you said after that point is when you jump up to the 4-year university bachelor's degree level. Before that, it had been a smaller school?
yeah, I went to a community college and got my associates in general studies, I think. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, at that point, I was just trying to finish a degree, find out what I was going to do. Because, like I said, I went from fashion. I started out as a fashion major, and I was like, I don't know what the hell I chose that for. No disrespect to anyone who does fashion. I mean, one of my best friends does fashion, but not for me. Like I said, I can't dress for shit.
Now, I'm wondering, because kids who wrapped up high school during COVID, it was notoriously a less social high school experience than you want high school to be. Community college, the cliche is that everyone's a commuter and it's less social than you want college to be. Then you have a year off. Then you start at a new place where everybody else has presumably been there for 2 or 3 years by the time you get there. I want to hear, what was the social side of college like when you did get to that step?
So, man, it was very interesting. You know, like I said, I do stuff with my university, like volunteer work, and part of that is talking to people that are planning to transfer in here, come in as new freshmen. And I, like, literally last week, I was talking to some high schooler about this. They were asking, like, how do you make friends around here? And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know, because I came in as a transfer student, but I had thankfully the blessing of, at the time when I did move up here, I moved up here with my girlfriend, and I had her, or my girlfriend at the time, not girlfriend anymore, but moved up here with my girlfriend at the time, and through her, I met some of her friends that happened to live up here, and made some made some friendships through there. But after we broke up, I mean, those friendships were kind of severed, and from there, I've made 2-3 solid good friends, one of whom is my room I live with now with them, and it's very few friends, but the ones I have made have been easily, I think, they're gonna be lifelong friends without a doubt.
Because I'm a little worried. I was a little worried. I'm glad to hear that you got some rock solid people. Because I sit here, I go, isolated high school experience, community college, notoriously a little bit less social. I want to make sure you got that social side of things before you go to one of the most remote parts of the world that humans step foot on. So this isolation stuff is real scary. And I think young people, a lot of studies being talked about more and more right now of people your age are more solitary than people of that age group have been in generations past. And a lot of people are starting to worry about it.
Yeah, it is. I gotta say, some people deal with it better than others, like the isolation and things like that. And for me, I don't like it's very 50-50. I mean, like, I love being around people. I love meeting new people, and then I'll have people over, and I'm like, holy hell, this is so overwhelming. I need you guys to get the hell out of my house right now. But then sometimes it's like, when I moved back here last semester after that year off, and all my friends back home, I was like, I remember like the 2 nights before I left, I bawling my eyes out to them, telling them I didn't want to go. I didn't want to start. I just didn't want to start my degree back. And I was, like, I can't do this. But now I'm here. It's been 5-6 months, and I'm doing just fine, honestly. It sucks. I still talk to them, and I still have that communication with them, and that's been enough. But, it's give and go some days, I guess.
Yeah. I'm rooting for you real hard. For this trip, for your future, for you to reconcile how crazy things were for a few years there. I'm rooting for it hard.
Yeah, that is. I appreciate that very much. It's, I don't have many people in my life to tell me, like, hey, proud of you, I'm rooting for you. And so the few times I do hear it, even if it's from a stranger, which I'm a stranger to you, but you're not a stranger to me, Mr. Gethard. I love The Office. Just saying, throwing that out there. But
Trevor forever, baby. Trevor forever, baby.
It's, hearing it from even one person, it goes miles, and it's never forgotten.
Well, it's good to hear. And it's especially from someone in your position, and especially someone who is in a generation that's known for wanting things to feel a little more solo, a little more closed off. To hear like any point of connection does matter. Happy to be a part of it. I am wondering, your brother's in high school now. Sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm sure you try to stay tight and keep an eye on him. I would have to imagine that relationship is one that if you're going to have no access to communication for months, that must be one that you're a little worried about or planning around at least.
It sucks to say. I got 9 siblings in total. I'm the third oldest.
9 siblings.
Yeah. Granted, I hate saying it. Like, I love telling people I got 9 siblings because it's always like, holy shit, 9 siblings. But I always have to follow it up with, they're all half siblings.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm the third oldest. But yeah, he is. Let me think. He's number 5 in line, I believe, and he's always like, honestly, it kind of pisses me off. He's probably the most intelligent out of all of us now. Like, even at this point, 4 years of college, he's already, I think, miles ahead of me. He's also taller than me now, which that pisses me off even more. He's smarter and taller.
Good for
But
him.
it's
Good for
yeah,
him,
I
though.
know,
It
right?
must make you worry a little less about him. You're like he's a genius and a giant. He can be okay.
Yeah, I think out of all of my siblings, he's the one I'm the least worried about. I mean, like I said, mom passed away, and me, this sibling specifically, we have different dads. And relevant to, why I'm not worried about him, 9 months after our mom passed away, his father passed away from a drug overdose.
Oh,
So,
no.
Yeah. So within a year, he became an orphan and ended up living with my dad and stepmom. And I mean, that taught, I know it sounds like I had a rough go at it. That little fucker has had the worst go at it, in my opinion. I mean, but somehow he has managed to succeed so far more than I could have ever imagined he would. I mean, he's in the college application process right now, and he's applying to Caltech, Harvard, Yale, MIT, for all those colleges for mathematics. And it's like, dude, where the hell was this, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah. That is, I tell you, and I know this show always shows it off, but I sit here and I go, hearing you talk, hearing what you've been through, hearing what your brother's been through, so many people in your family affected by this. Also, so strange to think about. You probably have half siblings who I'm not certain of the math of all of it and how all the puzzle pieces fit together, but to have siblings who sympathize, but who, if they're half siblings through your dad, who maybe didn't know your mom that well, who are trying to be there for you, and you're going, how do I even lean on you? This is so tangled up, and I can't imagine how head spinning this was, with not just losing your mom, but your family situation and all these moving parts, and your little brother losing his dad as well. Holy shit, there's so much, but it's such a good reminder. People are going through hard times. And it's real. And we are living in times where we all sort of self-isolate more and tunnel vision more and live through our devices more and feel like we're connecting with the world through our apps more. And while there is some truth to that, it's a good reminder of, man, the kid in the dorm room down the hall might be going through some shit like this. Talk to each other, the kid who's not even applying for college yet might be fighting so hard through so much of this. And what a reminder of trying to find ways in the real world to remember that people need to lean on each other, and got to provide that safety net for each other.
Yeah, we're reaching, at least in, America, where everything is so, so, so divisive these days. I mean, it's sad, truly. And I mean, I know we can all have our differences, but in the end, people forget that, like, truly, and as cliche as it sounds to say, but people forget that we are all human. We have all come from different perspectives, events, lifestyles, cultures, identities, religions, and we just have to have an open mind and remember, you might be meeting someone on the worst day of their life, and one small action could completely change that worst day of their life into the best day of their life. And it's disheartening to see people so focused on hating each other and being vindictive, instigative. It is sad, but I digress.
I'll tell you, Andrea just typed something to me in our little shared document, and I totally agree. We have, the cliche of our show is callers who are around my age, even a little older, but we've had a steady uptick and callers around your age recently. And man, you give me hope every time we're talking to younger people right now. It's true. It's true. Because we got to start calling it like it is, which is people love to paint, oh man, Gen Z, this and that, and everybody's got their opinion, and millennials, this and that. And every time I talk to someone from your age group right now, people are sitting here going, we got to take care of each other better. Or you got to realize we're really stressed about paying our bills and having insurance. You got to realize we don't know how we're going to own houses. The American dream does not seem viable to us, and the jig is up, and no one's being honest with us about it. And it's all said with realism and also a version of hope that I think is very unique to young people. This sort of hope that is laced with the recognition that older generations have screwed you guys over a little bit on some of these things. But hearing you just lay out what you laid out after everything you've been through, I'm like, man, we need to get all the old people in charge. And I say this as someone who's getting old. We need to get out of the way and hand the keys to people like this. And we need to stop underestimating them, because your generation are you guys, you're not even going to save us. You're going to save yourselves. And I think you guys see it. Gives me hope every time I talk to somebody as young as you, because you always defy expectations and say some real emotionally intelligent stuff every time.
I appreciate that. It's man. Oh man, that was I don't even know what to say to that, honestly. I mean, I like to. It's odd hearing someone be like, you're the one. You just be so. I don't even know how to put it. Just like, you got this. You're the kind of person we need. Which I'm not trying to toot my own. I'm not like trying to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but it is odd to hear someone say that. In general, it's odd to hear someone be positive in general these days. But it's
listen though, because the generalizations about people your age are like, oh, these kids, they just want everything handed to them. They don't want to work hard. And you're like, oh, or you can get out there and talk to young people who are losing their parents, and their response is put their head down, do the work, be the first kid in your family to go graduate from college, and commit to a lot of volunteerism along the way. And you sit there, you go, that's not a generation of lazy ingrates like people like to say young people are. This is not you don't strike me as someone who's like sitting around on TikTok and doesn't want to work hard. You sound like somebody who's worked way fucking harder than most people. And I can think of other episodes recently with people of your generation where it seems to me like the cliches are so far off from the reality. Yeah, you guys all might stare at your phones too much, but you described a situation of hard work and resilience, overcoming adversity where you'd be well within your rights to quit. You took one gap year off when no one with a brain in their head would ever blame you if you just never went back to school. And you're saying you're going to go on an adventure because now's the time to do it, because you're going to commit to medical school, another profession that, by the way, yeah, you make a lot of money as a doctor, but I get a distinct sense from you that it's more about you can help people in a very hands-on way as a doctor. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'd be shocked if that wasn't part of it. Sit here, I go, what is this cliche that people your age don't want to work hard? Sounds like you deal with a lot more bullshit than recent generations have, and you're doubling down on the work to try to push through it. So yeah, kudos to you. You've made a lot of hard choices, and it sounds like you've made a lot of the right choices.
I appreciate that a lot. Sorry, some tears started to flow there a little bit. Not gonna lie to you.
No, it's real, man. It's real.
Yeah, but yeah, you said it. Going to medical school and helping people Yeah, it pays a lot, which I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty excited about that. But because I got to tell you, I mean, I grew up in Appalachia, and I grew up a block and a half away from the rescue mission my entire life. I mean, my mom granted, had stepdad in the house for a little bit. My mom remarried twice when I was young, and we grew up in, honest to God, a shitty situation, dealing with stepfather who was abusive and, verbally, physically, things like that. I mean, dealing with that and watching her persevere through all that, still take care of us, find a way to pay the bills every single month. And growing up in Appalachia, 2 blocks away from the rescue mission, without a doubt, the goal is the hopeful goal is, if I'm lucky enough to get into medical school and make my way through that, I mean, the hope is to be able to do something serving like underserved communities. I mean, growing up, seeing the doctors on TV that would make house calls, grandma's sick and can't get out of bed. I want to be that doctor that will come to your house and help you when you can't. That's the dream. But oh man.
Well, yeah. I'm going to warn you right now, because I can tell you're on your own and you're slugging it out. And even you hearing me give you encouragement has you getting choked up a little bit. Do you know how many? You got to just be ready, because we do have a lot of moms who listen to this show, notoriously. And the comments about that, you're going to have so much mom energy coming out with moms telling you they're proud of you. And you better be ready, because I think that's going to be a little hard for you emotionally. But the beautiful anonymous fan base mom energy is about to embrace you. If you need mom energy telling you they're proud of you, believe me, these beautiful anonymous fans are on their way. I'm calling that right now.
And in case there are, let me go ahead and say it now to all the moms that listen to this. You are an honorary mom to me, and I love you, and you are the true heroes in this world. There's no one better than the moms in this world. They're the strongest people you could ever possibly imagine being. I mean, God.
I imagine that a 22-year-old is not on Facebook too much, but our Facebook group is going to straight up be a mom love fest towards you in the comment section on this one.
I did join the Facebook group when I started listening to this, because I was trying to figure out how to get on. I was like, maybe I can find some tips on there.
All you moms and aunties, he's reading the comments. All you moms and aunties in the Facebook group, he's there. Facebook group, high alert, pep talk time, positivity time, words of encouragement time. Let's do it. Let's also do our ads. Hate to say it, but there is a lot of truth to it. I am somebody who has faced some online harassment. It's true. I live very publicly. I have for a long time. I've made a lot of work that attracts a cult audience. If you're listening to this show, you know that. And part and parcel with that is, unfortunately, I've had a couple situations that have felt a little intense, a little bit like my guard goes up, and where I realize I need to make some moves to make sure that I and my family are as safe as we can be. And this is very real to me. You can hear it. And on top of that, you will be shocked. Your personal data is out there. It's on the internet. People can find it. It is jaw-dropping what's out there. The way it works is there's these sites, data brokers. And if you look into these, they gather up people's names, contact info, your social security number floats around out there, your home address. Some of them you start to see every address you've ever lived at, addresses of your relatives. Really wild how specific the info is on these sites. Now, why do they exist? Because people make profit, of course. Your data is a commodity. People on the web can buy your private details. That's what's going on here, is these bad actors are selling off your data. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment. Sometimes if you start seeing tons of unwanted spam calls, it's because your number is floating around on these sites out there. But now you can put a stop to the nonsense. You can protect your privacy. Use Delete Me. As mentioned, I live very publicly. I share a lot of myself online. I've had to become hyper aware of safety and security, and all that data hanging out on the internet, man, it can have actual consequences in the real world. And I personally can't stress this enough. I use Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service. It removes your personal info from hundreds of data brokers. And I'm telling you, I used to use other services. Then I started using Delete Me. Delete Me found dozens of places the other services have missed. And that's how I personally know and can vouch for the fact that Delete Me is setting the bar and leading the charge in protecting your info online. Delete Me sends you regular personalized privacy reports showing what info they found, where they found it, what they removed, and it is not just a one-time service. Delete Me is always working for you, constantly monitoring and removing the personal info you don't want on the internet. To put it simply, Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping your and your family's personal info from data broker websites. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Use the promo code beautiful at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Enter the code beautiful at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Code is beautiful. All right, all of the ads are out of the way. Thank you to our advertisers. Now let's finish off the phone call. All you moms and aunties in the Facebook group, he's there. You mentioned volunteering at school, and you mentioned that you haven't done anything in the service industry for a while, which is going to make this Alaska trip very fascinating. What have you been doing for money on your own as a full-time student and a volunteer? I know you're also paying the bills, so I imagine you're working too.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the last couple of years, since I left, because I mean, during COVID, I worked in a pharmacy. I was a pharmacy tech. I got that job just by chance. I called up a different CVS because I worked at CVS at the time in the front, and I was like, "Hi, I want to work in the pharmacy. They seem like they got it going on back there." And I got in touch with the pharmacy manager there, who is by far the greatest mentor I've ever had, and one of the smartest people I've ever met. But yeah, he gave me a job doing all the COVID clinics and stuff. I started giving COVID vaccines, which was the craziest thing to me. I was, I think, 19 or 20, and I'm giving, people triple my age vaccines. Still don't know how that happened, but it happened. And then I left for my actual university, and since then, I think second semester, I got a job doing cancer research, which didn't last for a super long time. And then I became a physics tutor, and then I took the year off, and I worked in an inpatient adolescent psych ward, which that is cool. I still technically work there, but it is the coolest job I've ever had. By far the best thing I could have ever asked for. And
you're
right now,
America's. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to say something, and I'm not saying it condescending. This might be the title of the episode. You're America's favorite boy. Everything about you is lovable, and you're easy to root for. You work handing out COVID vaccines, then helping research cancer, and then you went and worked at an adolescent inpatient facility, you said?
Yeah. It was a short-term facility of usually about, I think, 5 to 7 days was the average stay. Yeah.
And was this a combination of mentally ill kids, addicts, some specialization there, or?
Yeah, so it is general care. It's technically considered crisis stabilization. So the majority of people we were getting in, it was both adolescents and adults. I worked on the adolescent unit though, but majority of them are people that came in after a suicide attempt with the kids. It's, you know, whether it was success, you know, whether they're, you know, shooting themselves in the head or taking a handful of Advil, they were suicide attempts to them. But majority of them were kids that took a small amount of, you know, over-the-counter medications and were trying to end their life. And so they got sent to us to, you know, figure out new coping mechanisms, things like that. But every so often we get some pretty wild cases in there. I mean, you know, 16-year-olds having their first psychotic break, people that, you know, or adults that had attempted to end their life. One that comes to mind was a guy that I don't really remember what happened much to him, but he walked into a river and cut his neck open and laid there waiting to die, and someone happened to find him and he got brought to us. A whole lot of stuff. Everything you could possibly imagine.
This is dark stuff. And you've already described so many hard things, but you've described it as you were saying you were glowing about the job experience. How do you, at that young age, in a stretch of life where it sounds like it's butting right up against your own personal loss and grief, how do you keep your head on and view that as a positive? How are you doing that? It's miraculous.
A lot of it, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that I generally try and just recognize that there's a positive outlook to anything, of course, but with that job specifically, it's, you know, I've had my time of things are really, really shit, but it got better and it's still getting better. And with that, it's, you know, like I said, I was born and raised in Appalachia, and seeing kids that grew up in the same neighborhood. I mean, God, we'd have kids come in there that I went to high school with their siblings. I mean, we've had people come in there that I went to high school with, and seeing them on the worst day of their life, or coming, you know, just off of the worst day of their life, being able to be that positive outlook to them and be like, listen, I know that it is shit right now, and it seems like it could not get any worse. And trust me, it could get worse, but I'm not going to tell them that. But it will get better. And just being able to see them come in from, you know, 2 days ago, they had tried to hang themselves, to when the day they leave, when they're the happiest that I had seen them in that entire week, and being able to feel like there was some kind of difference that I could have made, that's the part about it that makes it the best job I've ever had.
You're a miraculous guy. I also have to say, Andrea did gently point out to me that I probably should not have asked you, how do you keep your head on, moments after you did detail a story of a person who did try to chop his own head off in a river. My bad. Sincerely, my bad.
I got to tell you, man, with a job like that, it no worries. It's, you know, my first day getting, you know, the nursing report, I remember sitting there and being like, holy shit, like, I can't believe that. And I look around the room to, like, you know, that look of shock. I'm like, are you guys hearing this? And everyone's just like stone faced. They're like, it's like, it, you know, nothing. And after a while, of course, you know, you become desensitized to it, and it becomes the normal to hear things like that. But, you know, you got to find the humor in it somehow.
Yeah, I know. But still, it's not. When Andrea does point out that phrasing could have been not the best choice of words, but good sentiment on the question. Yep, worth calling myself out on that. I mean, dude, you've seen a lot personally. You've seen a lot with your professional choices. I don't know what to say except to really let you know that you deserve really good things in life, and I am impressed at the work you've put in, and I'm impressed at the choices you make, especially when it sounds like from a young age, you had many, many opportunities to go awry, and no one would have blamed you, it sounds like. Sounds like that's your background. And it seems like at every juncture point, you have kind of committed to this idea. If bad comes in, good goes out. And that's how I defeat it.
Mm-hmm. I honestly, and a lot of what has, it really influenced that too, is that simply, see, like I said, watching my mom struggle all those years and continue to persevere. I mean, she 100% and put that trait into me that no matter how bad it is, you have to keep going. And ever since she has, of course, passed away, giving up is no longer an option, because all the work that she put in, I simply cannot let that go to waste. I mean, she worked far too hard for me, for my siblings, for me to give up and not give back to those around me that need it more than I do.
Yeah, it sounds like for whatever nonsense that you guys were all dealing with, it sounds like on a fundamental core level, she did raise you right.
And straight, yeah, she was a very, very strong woman, but a very interesting woman, no doubt.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And she's got an interesting son, I tell you that.
Yeah, that might be a thing worth mentioning. That just kind of thought about it after she passed away. I learned my mom was in a religious. God, I don't even know how to. She followed a religious mysticism group. I don't really know how to put it, honestly. I'm sure someone that's listening might know exactly what they might have heard of it before, but it was called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn Temple. So if someone knows about that, hopefully they'll comment something about it on the Facebook group. But yeah,
we have to look it up right now.
It was gosh, I found some. It was after she passed away. I found some books, and it was something that I kind of sort of knew about growing up. Like, I knew that she did something. Religion was never really a topic with my mom. She left that one up to interpretation for me, figure out what I wanted to believe in. She never told me what she believed in, but yeah, after she passed away, I found books and writings and all these things and found out that she was a follower or whatever this group was.
The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was a secret society devoted to the study and practice of occult hermeticism and metaphysics during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Known as a magical order, it focused its practices on theurgy and spiritual development. Many present-day concepts of ritual and magic that are at the center of contemporary traditions such as Wicca and Thelema were inspired by the Golden Dawn, which became one of the largest single influences on 20th century Western occultism. Was your mom like
Yep.
a cool witch?
It's, man, I wish that it's one of the things I wish I could know more about. Like I said, I found books, and I found within it's one specific book. I have it sitting here somewhere actually, but it's, hold on, let me see. I got it somewhere. Yeah, I found the book, and it has little scribblings on loose leaf paper where she was writing things in Hebrew, and I don't know. I did not know she spoke Hebrew or could write in Hebrew. Maybe she was just using Google Translate. Oh, here it is. Yeah, The Golden Dawn, written by Israel Regardi. I've tried to read it before. It's practically another language to me because it has so much stuff in it that I think requires prior knowledge, but it's got guides on how to perform rituals, things like that. I can't understand it to be honest with you, and I don't think I ever will.
It sounds cool. Andrea also looked it up and found that in 1977, a Golden Dawn temple was founded in Columbus, Georgia. And I only bring that up because you mentioned you grew up in the Appalachian region, which I go, it's not too far. You're not too far at that point. There was an influence there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm from Southwest Virginia, so it's not too far.
Look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, it's and like I said, I eventually I did find out like the little bit that I have found out about it. It was she had a very small friend group, and it was her best friend. I'd we used to go over to her house. I'd hang out with her daughters, and all the adults would go downstairs. And at the time I was like, oh, they're just doing adult stuff, hanging out, getting away from the kids. But of course, as I got older, I was like, oh, that's what they were doing down there. They were fucking doing spells and rituals and stuff. And I called her one day. This is maybe 8-9 months ago, and I was like, all right, come on. Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about what it was my mom believed in? And she was basically just immediately like, I cannot tell you anything. I'm sorry. But I was like, nothing at all. And she was like, the most I can tell you was that your mom believed in your friends. And I was like, what the hell? What does that even mean? That doesn't mean anything.
Dude.
At least not to what I'm trying to find out.
I have a feeling it sounds like you're going to be finding out things piece by piece about your mom for many years. And I bet it will bring you fascination and joy.
That is the hope. I mean, yeah, God, it is nice to still be able to form new memories without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it is finding out that she was practicing the occult.
Man, that's a nice, cool little twist right at the end there. We got 5 minutes, 5 minutes left on the old free feed here. What else should we talk about for these last 5 minutes? I feel like, everybody's got their ups, their downs, their flaws, but just based on what you've told us and how you've run at the world and how you've dealt with your problems, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel the love in the reaction on this one. I know you are.
I'm excited to see it. Honestly, it is invigorating to think about. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. What's the bucket list of hopes for what you get out of going to Antarctica?
Oh man, honestly, I'm really big into the outdoors. Want to be able to like hike, something big like I don't know if a glacier is realistic or if that's even there. I think the specific station is it's Palmer Station, which is like the most northern point in Antarctica. That would be pretty cool to be able to go out there, see a whale or a penguin. I mean, they got like there's international laws in place and stuff that you can't mess with the animals, of course, but being able to see one would be pretty cool.
I love it. I just looked like a picture of Palmer Station, and it does look like a tiny little town just completely surrounded by nothingness and snow and ice.
Yeah, it really is so interesting because, like I said, it's when people hear Antarctica or working in Antarctica, it's always, oh, you gotta be a scientist. They're down there drilling ice cores or doing physics research. I mean, literally anyone that's listening to this, they could get a job there, and it's a crazy thing to think about. Well, they could get a job there as long as they can pass a background check and security clearance and aren't sick, but anyone could do it.
Man, that's cool. I hope you have a life-defining cool time.
Likewise, it is there are still reservations. It is still it is a scary thing to think about sometimes, but we don't live by not doing things, we live by doing them, right?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of truth to that. You got to regret the things you do, not the things you don't do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man, it is still a pretty surreal thing to think about, honestly. I mean, 20 honest to God, I don't know who does the hiring there, but I'm not gonna say that they were stupid to even offer it. But I mean, I don't know, if I saw a 22-year-old applying to Antarctica, I'd be like, what the hell are they doing?
What are they healing from? They would accurately ask, what is this young man healing up from? Because he's facing down something if he's coming down to Palmer Station at the age of 22.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm more excited to just like to be down there and to meet people. That is by far, I think, the best. Like, what I have found the most enjoyment out of in life is meeting people that, you know, have different experiences than me. And I can't even imagine the people that would be down there.
It's gonna be so good. We got to do a follow-up call when you get back. I got to hear how this goes.
Damn straight.
It's been such a joy talking to you. I'm hoping you have a few more minutes to hang out so we can ask you 5 other random questions behind the paywall. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, anybody who wants to hear it can sign up at beautifulanonymous.com. But for all our listeners on the free feed, I think I speak for all those listeners saying everybody's out here rooting for you, and you are making some really positive choices. And it would be justified to go negative or to be cynical, and you're not giving into those things. And it's so impressive.
I appreciate that. And and to anyone that's listening, like, just simply, like, it always gets better. And I love and appreciate you all. If you feel like no one else does, I love and appreciate you all.
Caller, can't thank you enough. Wishing you the best in everything. Looking forward to seeing the reactions to this one. And I hope you find yourself and everything you're looking for. Thanks for calling. And thank you to our producer, Andrea Quinn. Thank you to Shellshag for our theme music. Go to punchup.live/Chris Gethard if you want to know when I'm performing. We have a voicemail line. It's 973-306-4676. We have an Instagram. It's at Beautiful Anonymous Pod. Join the Facebook discussion group at Beautiful Anonymous, the community. And we're also on TikTok. TikTok is working. We got TikTok. It's working. Follow us on TikTok. This week on Beautiful Anonymous Plus, here's some of what you'll get from the 5 questions. What were you scared of as a child?
Seagulls.
Seagulls?
Still terrified of seagulls. I know I know you're from New Jersey. Yes, I think you guys got seagulls in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, all over the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, the one vacation I remember we got to take as a kid is we went to the beach. I fell asleep. I mean, I was, maybe 7 or 8. I fell asleep on the beach, and my mom thought it would be funny to put bread around me, and I woke up to being like dive bombed by seagulls trying to get the bread around me, and it was the most terrifying experience of my life. Even still now, if I get anxiety around seagulls.
Yeah, that's a bad prank. That's not a cool prank. Maybe your mom was like an occultist worshiper of the Golden Dawn, but she shouldn't have been throwing bread on you. She shouldn't have been doing that. Don't forget to sign up for Beautiful Anonymous Plus at beautifulanonymous.com.